She was on to him. Oh my gosh, do people know about this?
What are we fighting against?
She absolutely knew.
I'm innocent. I mean, he's innocent.
I am once more right here in front of you. Hi, my name's Gimmick. As previously stated, I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift's music, and I am here to listen to all of it, to properly, first of all, hold to that claim and possibly prove myself wrong in the process, and try to actually verbalize my opinions beyond just, it's not for me, which is a fine take to have on anything. But I want to explain why, and I want to figure out why. I'm also trying to figure out why people like you might like this music. So if you happen to disagree with me, please explain why. Let me know in the comment section down below. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, enough of that. We also got parody songs for your listening pleasure. So it's not just extended moments of me silently making faces of displeasure. This is a second part, so be sure to watch the previous episode. Or don't. It doesn't matter. It's just a video. I do think this one's funnier, though, so enjoy that, hopefully. All right, the hat's off so I can cover my eyes with something else instead. I was going to put on context, but who cares? That's later in the video anyway. Also, there are timestamps in the description if you just want to find your favorite song. The longer time between each song meant I had more to say. I hope you enjoy what's it called? Swifting slowly. Okay. I'm open to changing that. Slowly swifting? Whatever sounds better. Who cares? Anyway, yeah.
Hello. I don't want to do this. I did this bit weeks ago, and somehow that file got deleted. And I don't remember anything I said, so I gotta listen to that stupid song again. I don't even remember how the song goes. It could be anything. I don't know if this is even close to a good one. But by golly, I'm gonna be listening to it again, so you can get your sweet little parody song. You know, when I filmed the bits that are gonna come after this, I didn't know I was even gonna do that. That was a last minute decision, and it's my favorite part of the last video. Which means now I actually am committed to doing this. Alright, we're watching Fearless.
And I don't know how to drive a stick shift. I'll pull the thing and floor it backwards. Vehicular manslaughter charges leave an expensive bail. Chewing through the bars, I'll break out of jail.
My uncle's a phone.
No,
He
the next
doesn't
one's
have
starting.
bones, and all of his organs are super hollow.
No more. That was close. As you can see, there's no clock on my wall anymore, or on this wall, whichever one it was, because time defies me at every possible juncture. And by that I mean the thumbtack broke, and so the clock kept falling on me. But also, time absolutely has betrayed me, because I had to listen to this again. The sound of it. But why? Why don't I like it? That's the game, Gimmick. Play by the rules. I got a lot of nerve talking like this when I'm the one who decided to do it, and I'm the only one holding myself accountable for it. Jeez, get a room, ego. Speaking of, let's talk about Taylor Swift. So this one's about a boyfriend. Did you miss me saying that? I didn't. Oops. Sorry. I've decided to pull up a timeline of relationships. She wrote a whole song about, oh boy, isn't it wonderful to fall in love? Isn't it great to find the one? Our relationship was 3 months, and it ended over the phone. Woof. And one of the Jonas Brothers, no less, who I also have zero nostalgic attachment to, so who gives a crap? This is not hard work, right? This is talking. The editing, the writing, the parodies, that part is actual work. And I take pride in that. This part is not work. Or at least it's not hard work. It is mental exercise. It is social practice for me. I don't know, man. It's flexing my complaining muscle. Maybe part of it is because I'm not a huge fan of bright music. This is very bright, and it sounds like a sunny day with a clear sky, which is the exact type of weather I can't stand. I'm still just extra upset because I've talked about this before, and because all of my opinions on this song were recorded and are now gone, I have to figure out what to say now, because in the moment I was able to say plenty. It was a lengthy section that I had to edit down, and now guesswork. I shouldn't be trying to guess what I said. I formulate a new thing. In the last quarter of the song, there was a big instrumental break, and there was one part where the guitar switched up. And it was suddenly just rock and roll, and I was like, oh my god, this is really nice. And then it went back into being the normal song that it already was, and it was like, doggone it. This has happened several times with other songs of hers I've heard before. Not just for the songs from the last video, but more recent things. I keep hearing songs that have a little bit where I'm like, ooh, that sounds very interesting. That's very pleasing to the ear. I'm going to hear more of that. And immediately, the moment I have that thought, it's replaced with something else that just makes me immediately sink into a little puddle of disappointment. Because this is a fan favorite. Yes, love is real. Love is exciting. Love is very important. And it's great to express that. What is there to say beyond I don't like how it sounded? If I can't think of anything to say about stuff that I have direct access to, I should start doing speculation. And you may ask, what am I speculating about? I don't fully know either, but this is what I have so far. We know that she started out writing songs, at least one said to be written within 15 minutes during math class. We don't have a timeline of when in this 3-month relationship she wrote this song, but I did see in that article that another song on the same album was written when it started to go downhill, in her words. How long does it take her to write these songs? How much effort goes into writing them? I know that she does all of her writing for her songs, except for the few songs in the first album, at least. I haven't checked on the credits for this song. Well, this song has 2 other writers, Linz Rose and Hillary Lindsay. There are 6 songs on this album that had extra writers on board, and this one had 3, which was the most. What are the chances that whenever she went to the bathroom, or whenever she's at a bus stop, or, well, I guess you can't really go to a bus stop when you're that famous at that point, in times where she is waiting for something, does she just like put something together and then occasionally other people come in to shape it into something a little more, would you say, marketable? No, I don't think she's doing this to be marketable. She just is. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for this. I want to see if I can tell how long a song takes to write. Because, what was that one? Perfectly Good Heart? That's a 7-minute session. Absolutely. That's a lunch break song. That's standing in line to order your lunch. And this is especially fun for me to do because I don't know anything about this woman. Or at least I do everything in my power not to know anything about this woman, which means I get to make baseless claims. Ooh, that goes great on the internet. Yes! Boy, I really hope I haven't been peeking my mic a lot because I have not been looking at OBS because that's what I'm using to record now because, boy, ClipChamp is not a fan of my laptop. All right. Enjoy what I recorded a couple weeks ago. Dang it, I just realized you didn't even get to see my cute outfit. It was really cool. I'll probably wear it again. Hi. It's been like a week since I did that last bit because I had other things to do. It really is a great, great sign of the content you'll be getting when the thing that is going to take so long and will require a lot of personal commitment is something that I'm only halfway committed to anyway. Good to see that the shadow of my laptop is censoring my buff form. By buff, I mean in the buff, not, strong. So I had the thought, you've only been seeing me be super bored with music before. So before I listen to another Swift song, I'm going to listen to music that I do like and just show the reaction of that, just so you get a general idea of the contrast that we're working with here. For example, this is me watching the music video for 99 by Barns Courtney.
She didn't have much skin, but all her eyes bounced their glow off of her knives. 30 rows of teeth across her thighs, skeletal yet full of life. She said to bow down to the queen of fright. I'm gonna ask that demon to be my evil wife.
I had not seen the music video for that before. And I'm glad I listened to the song first because you don't get the full experience watching that. Why was it also an ad? Big fan of this stuff. Now that I have one more thing to edit, let's watch 15.
I see lots of ears and a lot of rabbit faces smothered with sad tears and sad frowns. Hopping onto their call-out posts to dox my house and say, our father will not feed us the ground. Beef s'mores. Rabbits are grifting the internet with a change.org account, demanding I feed them something they can't eat because they are herbivorous animals.
I appreciate that they tried something with the visuals. I have to imagine that this was also written during class because this is another journal entry, right? The Abigail in the song was a real person. The events happened. She just wrote the stuff that happened verbatim. I know there's a current joke about Swifties just discovering the concept of symbolism being used in songs. Does it really take that long for her to do any? Who directed the music video? Roman White directed Video for You, Belong With Me. So did the music videos come out in a different order than the release on the tracks? I guess they don't have to. Maybe it just comes out in ranking of popularity. Oh, he just does. I was gonna say this guy only does music videos, but he's directed 2 movies. Did they have Disintegrating Memory Worlds? Okay, so the first movie was based on a song. So it's a long music video. Oh gosh, Christian musical romance film? Okay. Well, that says a lot about the songs, that the first thing that I do an extended amount of thinking about is 2 movies I've never heard of and that we'll never watch. Also, they don't seem to use those visuals. I guess it was a one and done type of deal. Or maybe not, who knows? This guy's done a lot of music videos, so About 3 or 4. I don't know, man. She wrote about a series of events that happened. I wonder how Abigail took it. And I saw that there was some criticism about the song being sex negative. I don't read it that way at all. Oh, whatever. There's nothing to say about this one. So I listened to Love Story, and I did a whole thing about it. And my mic wasn't on. And honestly, it's better this way, because now I don't have to edit so much. The first verse of the song was fine musically, and then the chorus came in, and I wasn't as interested. And maybe it's because I have a lot of experience with Shakespeare and have been in a production, at least one, of Romeo and Juliet. And it makes me just tired of having that story be romanticized in all the wrong ways. Your friends and family disapproving should not be the fuel to write a love song about someone that you weren't even dating. Wonder how long those feelings lasted. Did they last up into recording and release? The inclusion of Scarlet Letter was a weird choice, and I don't know if it works super well, especially with this revamped story. Basically, it's just taking vague ideas from mostly one story and a little bit from one other, ignoring what they are both about and the themes, and just sticking to, but it's pretty. And if there's one thing I can't stand, it's ignoring the themes. Also, I don't know if she's actually seen the play. When reading stuff about the song, it mentioned that her inspiration came from movies and stuff she had crush things, just general feelings of, but daddy, I love him. Now, that could just be the Regency era thing, which I don't think meshes super well with country music. They have very little crossover of, like, maybe Horse, White. At least the movies that she would have seen as inspiration. But I wonder if she'd only seen a movie of Romeo and Juliet. And because there's no way to know which movie that could have been, if that's what happened, which one was half paid attention to, or just purposefully swept under the rug. Because for some reason, why would you write a song about someone every single person around you dislikes? Taylor, how old was that boy? Miss Swift, how old was this boy? In her words, Romeo and Juliet could have been like the most romantic story ever had they not died. But there are other features about that story that make it not an ideal love story. Because, Juliet was 13 years old. Eventually, we don't know how old Romeo was. He could be a late age teenager. He could be a young adult. We don't have the answer to that. But, parallels. Anyway, for a number of reasons, I'm uncomfortable with this song. And I'm not into a work that references another work without paying attention to its themes and plot. That's why I hate the 1931 Frankenstein, because that's not Frankenstein. Similarly, this song is not Romeo and Juliet. It shouldn't be Romeo and Juliet either. It should. Many things should not be R&J. Do better. Do better. I think I'm also a little bit personally sensitive because I was in a production, and I did a lot of studying into, like, what the play is about and everything that went into it, the context of the time and all the writings about it. And doggone it, Friar Lawrence did not do anything wrong. He was about to get them a better life. He had it all planned out. He did everything to help those two kids. It was a cholera outbreak. He didn't do anything. I'm innocent. I mean, he's innocent. Anyway, surprise, it's Gimmick from the future again, which is to say, your past, and also my past by the time I'm uploading this, but it's the future in regards to what you just saw, which is how the order of most recording sessions go. Okay. I don't know anything about the song Hey Stephen. I've never heard this song. I've never heard it named. So, sorry, what? Oh no. I'm looking for the lyrics for Hey Stephen on Genius.com. What do you mean she was doing demo CDs as far back as 2002? Oh, I don't have to listen to those, right? I know you don't like me for what I'm doing here, but you wouldn't subject me to that, right? There's so many things. I'm just going off the discography listed on Wikipedia. Let's listen to Hey Stephen.
'Cause I'm an elf from Middle Earth and you're in danger. The Barrow Whites are on their way to cause you pain, so now there's dark magic in the ceiling of your condo. I hope you have their weapons or else. Sorry, I'm not a helpful elf. I didn't bring any of them. You're gonna have to do that all on your own, pal. I'm so sorry.
So this one's about a crush. This is a song written for Stephen Barker Lyles, one of a duo called Love and Theft, another band I've never heard of. Lyrics said he looks like an angel, so I'm going to look at him right now and, maybe if I got to know him. He's definitely shaped like the kind of guy that white girls that listen to country music would go after. Complicated feelings with this one. Most of them are personal. Could you imagine such a thing in the personal reaction and opinion videos series? Swift wrote this because she had a crush on Lyles. I don't have a record of how well they knew each other. Uh-oh. Just had a thought. How old was he? They were an opening band for her? I don't know about that dynamic. It's a little frightening. The duo only existed as a band for 2 years up until that point. Are they still around? Looks like they haven't done anything in 2 years, but boy, they got a short wiki page. Would you believe it? There's a sizable chunk that's about Taylor. We're getting somewhere. 39 in 2023. Okay, so let's do some math. 15, he was 20. Okay. And she was 17 to 18. Okay. 18 is age appropriate. Okay. I was worried it was going to be a way worse power dynamic in some way, though I hear that comes later. So he was amicable about it. He quoted saying, "One of the nicest things anybody's ever done for me." Okay. He made a response song. Screw it. I'll listen to that too. Love and Theft, try to make it anyway.
This sandwich made of real bees, I fished it out from the moat. Did you just eat it? Hey, my homie, what if you don't? Just take what is mine, you stupid pile of crap. There's no sandwich inside of me, 'cause you ate my lunch, homie. You and me are gonna exchange punches. You stole my soggy bee sandwich. Here, try some knuckle instead. I'm gonna punch you in the head.
I understand a bit more of the attraction of seeing him in motion. Does not have a bad voice. I can see why he would be a popular pick. But then they didn't pick. Very interesting. It's very, very interesting for two people to go, "Hey, I'm into you. Hey, I'm into you too. Great." And then that's it. I don't know where the relationship ended after that. I don't know where their friendship went, or I don't know, because they couldn't have been touring forever. The comments are going crazy about, oh my gosh, He's playing a Taylor guitar. Oh my gosh. They both used the word rain in the song. That's amazing. What if I did that? What if I included motifs in parody songs? Would people freak out about that as much too? Are people chomping at a bit for a return of Uncle Telephone or whatever his name was? He didn't have a name. I came up with that in like 8 seconds. Hey, there's an idea. There's something to think about. I'm writing the parodies pretty fast too. Granted, it's only a section. So, I don't know. So, Hey Stephen feels like it was written in the dark of the bus while they were touring together. It was just late one night. She was thinking, boy, his face is a rectangle. I gotta write about this right now. And she wrote so much about it, which I get. I've written poems pretty fast because you get sudden bouts of inspiration, like, oh, gotta get it out right now. And sometimes it turns out okay. I like the organ in Hey Stephen. We got a groovy church feel going on. Or if for my more direct experience, it feels like I'm watching an episode of Chowder for like 4 seconds. And then it's Taylor Swift again. I've already forgotten what she sounds like in that song. Wow, none of these are memorable to me. Holy crap, the response song is stuck in my head. Uh-oh. Okay. I had a thought of like, I really hope this is not like internalized misogyny. And then I remembered all of the lady artists that I listened to and adore. And I listen to music all across the gender spectrum. Like, look, here's a few faces and names right now. Boy, that's several, huh? That's many, many. Oh, that one too? Boy, can I recommend all of these? Yes, unless you're my parents. Did I say why Hey Stephen was like viscerally uncomfortable for me? I think I mentioned it was for personal reasons. My point in bringing it up is that several different times people have developed feelings for me based on first impressions alone, and will pursue me only because of their immediate perception of me. And I know that happens for a lot of people a lot of the time. And a part of the purpose of dating is to test those first impressions and get to know someone better. However, personally, having had several relationships that ended, that is part of having several relationships, isn't it? Well, in my case, at least. But having had so many relationships end partly because I did not live up to expectations, that has made the very concept of going after someone just because you think they're hot or because you've spoken to them a couple times or something of that sort skeeves me out. Feels nasty. Which is why one of my dating rules is that we have to already be friends. And if that's enough to kill a relationship of any kind, platonic or otherwise, doesn't really matter at that point, does it? So yeah, I think if someone wrote a song about me because they had a crush on me, that'd be gross. Okay, now actually moving on to the next thing. This shirt goes with these swim trunks, and I think that's awesome. That doesn't count as showing my butt on the internet, right? Right? No, it can't, because people wear pants all the time and turn away from the camera. Anyway, it was only in the editing process of this video, in the last one where I made recommendations of country music that I like, just 3 off the top of my head, I only named white dudes, and there's a whole lot more than that. We're going to do another sandwich, where I'm going to listen. kind of, but a reverse of the sandwich before. I'm going to listen to music that I like, then Swift is T Swift, and then a recommendation from a friend. I'm unfamiliar with Alison Krauss, but that was the name that I was given, so I'm going to be looking into that. Oh, jeez, my shirt's all completely unbuttoned. What am I, a harlot? There we go. One button. Back to normal. Let's put on some Johnny Cash. Oh, I do like A Boy Named Sue. Let's get into that. That's a good one for Pride Month.
Well, I went to the preschool and my whole class was a-learning the animals, having a blast. But for me and mine, the whole darn thing was new. Got in mighty trouble for pitching a fit. Janie got a black eye and Tana got bit 'cause I got mad when they told me pigs don't say moo.
That's a fun one. Though I do have some strange reservation about it, only because I've always had difficulty with songs that have talking in them, just regular speech. I couldn't tell you why, but when they fade into each other, it feels just a little part of my brain is like, no, that's wrong. No, you did it wrong. But I do love a story song. I love when a song has a story to it. It's just fun to follow along. I feel great about it. And that's why I like several musicals. All right, where are we now? I think we're on White Horse. Oh gosh, that one's next. Well, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you will in 8 minutes?
And this is just business. This is the mafia. You ain't the big boss calling the shots. Take it up with Daria. This ain't Godfather. She is the kingpin. And your crimes ain't meager, so now she says to let you drown. Fellas, glue this dumb mook to this pile of cinder blocks.
My initial thought was, oh my gosh, do I like this song? But then I remember it's just, the cello is my favorite instrument, so I forgot. I just kind of forgot that's why I was liking it. I think the first verse has some good lyrics. I think that's well written. But as it continues on, it doesn't feel as strong. Once again, I find it more favorable to be listening to music that's not just targeted at teenagers. This is also, I highly doubt that this is intentional, but it starts to paint a bit of a picture when the previous song said that the object of affection had the face of an angel, and to start this song with, I was betrayed by someone who had that face of an angel. There's nothing that says this is about the same thing. I don't think that was an intentional side-by-side. I didn't know that there was a music video, so I didn't watch that. Apparently there was. I read a little bit about it as I was listening. Oh, sorry, the bit. So this one's about an ex-boyfriend, and this one cheated on the narrator of the song. Narrator? That has to be what it's called, right? I've only heard narrator be used in the context of books or TV shows or movies. Can you have a narrator for a song? You must, right? A protagonist? I'm thinking in musical language of musicals, which this isn't, so who cares? The cello is really nice. I really like the cello and the guitar and the piano. The instrumental is very, very nice. And then we get to the words again. The line, and "It's too late for you and your white horse," is evocative enough to depict that this guy who in the music video apparently was a cheater, not just cheating, but had a whole life before meeting her and was leading her on. I think the imagery is effective for you and your white horse, but not captivating. You know what I mean? And that just happens a lot of the time. I recognize why so many people watch Rocky Horror Picture Show and why it was such a big deal and why it's so iconic for so many folks. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I'm much more of a fan of the Paradise Girl myself. Oh, right. We got to listen to the other part to complete the sandwich. This is not going to be happening throughout the whole video, by the way. This is probably just once in a while when I feel like it. First recommendation I got was Alison Krauss. So let's just go to the first song that comes up when I look up that name. When You Say Nothing at All.
The man with no face doesn't know how to feed me. There's a fully stocked kitchen, and all he brings back is string beans. He's touching the ham, says he thought that this was a dog. When hiring chefs, avoid the man from the bog.
I really like that. That was really nice. The music video, of course, had my personal hiccup of lots of prolonged eye contact with someone who is singing at you. Fortunately, there were enough diagonal candles in the music video for me to focus on instead. And the grandparents and the baby. Oh, it was very sweet. It felt so gentle. That song felt like a little hug, and then like a little slow dance in the kitchen. Oh, that was really nice. I'm adding that to a playlist of mine. That's really good. Also, I'm a big fan whenever an electric guitar gets like real sweet and mellow. It sounds like a sunset. You know what I'm talking about? I love when that happens. That's so nice. Oh. That made me happy. I'm ready to do the next thing.
No! Yay! Yay! It's been a minute, maybe what, an hour? Who knows? Time isn't real. Since I watched, or since I did that last segment, it's been about that long. And I thought, let's get it over with. So I looked up You Belong With Me. And the thumbnail for the music video. Oh my goodness, a relic of the past. Hooray! And I'm allowed to make fun of hipster fashion choices because look at my facial hair. Look at what I have going on. It's had variations on this for years. Well, after that all died out. So now I'm so excited about watching this. And so I will. I was attacking the villagers of yore, ate the livestock in the night, and out of nowhere came a hunter who was looking for a fight. I broke 3 of his ribs and he pinned me to the tree, blade in hand to slay a monster, but instead he saw me. Looking sweetly in his eyes like I was helpless, fell under my spell, and now he's headlessly floating in the stream, 'cause I bit off his head. I have so many thoughts. Okay. The song itself, I've heard so many times. I'm very tired of it. But I will admit, this one is an earworm. I can see why it was played all the time, because it's not a bad song. It's not a bad song at all. However, right now, when I'm listening to it, too much. Too much has been in my life of that song. Did that sentence work? You gotta figure out how to say something coherent. The music video. Oh no. Golly, that is. It really is. It's just like everything else that was around it at the time. It really is just playing into it's not inventive. It's really for everything was just a little snapshot in time. Like, yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. Why wasn't she wearing her glasses to the prom? It's because wearing glasses makes you less attractive. That's what it is. That's how it is. I'm perplexed by the choice of Miss Swift playing both girls, both the uh, So I often have to catch myself in what I say because not everything that comes out first up here is the right thing to say or accurate. Uh, it's just the immediate response, and then I have to have you ever formulated a sentence? Why am I explaining that to you? The words that came to my mind were, it's odd that she openly plays both the yearning, awkward girl who is lovesick and perhaps spiteful of the competition, and also the girl who's not good to date. Look, we're only 2 albums in, and I have not been keeping track of how many relationships have been in 2 albums, but it's more than 2. I think we're more than 7 at this point, aren't we? There is a montage where she is wearing a bunch of different outfits. I don't believe for a moment she dressed like more than 2 of those in her actual life. Definitely not the emo kid look. I don't remember what I was talking about. It's been like 40 minutes since I said that. Also, I think my hair looks nice, so I'm keeping it unlocked for now. What was I talking about? Oh, right. Uh, the outfits, yeah. Wow, that boy. Wow, that is the most picture perfect expression of teenage boy of the time. Are teenage boys just like cursed with bad hair? Is that how it is like all the time? Actually, I think I just hate all trends because a bowl cut is not that much better than that stupid llama look that every 15-year-old who plays soccer is doing. But at least that one has potential to look interesting. No, it doesn't. What am I talking about? I am boggled by the concept of communicating through a window. Obviously, for a visual medium like a music video, it serves the purpose well of communicating over distance. But what teenage girl has her bedroom window open at night when there is a window directly across from it? That's so scary. That's a lot. Why would either of them do that? Did people do that? I need to find some mid-30s people and ask them about that, depending on what kind of house they lived in. Hi, it's me, Gimmick, from another point in the future past. I'm wearing the same shirt, and I don't know why. I only just now had the thought. Uh, them being next door neighbors plays into the idea that those characters have been friends for so long, and it's the childhood crush of we've known each other our whole lives, so of course we should be together, that kind of thing. I don't think that's ever worked out, by the way. I don't know. Prove me wrong in the comments below. Anyway, I just remembered the lyric. I remember you driving to my house in the middle of the night because I, just did the parody of that lyric. Um, they live right next to each other. Where's he driving from to pick her up? Am I stupid and mistaken? That not the lyrics? I feel like it is. I should have checked before recording this. I'm not going back now because my computer's about to explode. Also, I know that the target audience is teen girls. And I know that until she lived in Tennessee, at least, she was not a popular kid. But can anyone honestly look at her, at Miss Swift, and think, yeah, that's a social outcast? She was already on tour by this point. And rich girls, they're just like you. I can accept her being a band kid. I cannot suspend an iota of disbelief at the concept that Taylor Swift is not going to be wildly popular in high school. All right, I gotta look at the director's choice to have why was she double cast? Oop, time for a dirty little assumption. I forgot I was doing that. I've definitely seen more in recent years that her re-releasing music. I know it's because she didn't own it and she was trying to have a version that she did own. But constantly re-releasing albums and singles a day after anyone else takes the top of the charts. I'm not going to say that it was her choice to be double cast, but I think the concept of competition with other girls does seem to be a running theme for her. Maybe she did have a say in it because, I mean, she's choosing the male leads for her music videos, right? So who's to say she's not choosing anyone else who has major screen time? Oh, of course. How could I forget the blatant girl versus girlness in the lyrics? Like that's evidence enough, I think. So I know that the music video has the girlfriend being portrayed as the mean girl. Holy crap! This was the one with the "I'ma let you finish" bit. Did that whole situation have a different context after P. Diddy? Because he interrupted to talk about Beyonce. Is that? Uh-oh. Speaking of any other woman having the spotlight. Eesh. What was I talking about? I forgot my point. Oh, yeah. That he's with the mean girl, whatever. Uh, and because Blonde Swift is not like the other girls, she can relate to the boy's struggle of, oh, girls are so hard to deal with. I hate that mentality so much. Perpetuating your father's instinct that women are more emotional than men does not make you a better woman. That's not necessarily to Miss Swift, that's just to anyone else who's watching. Don't just put other women down because they're women for this. No man is going to give you attention for that. And if they would, that's not the one to go with. I wonder how lesbians deal with that. I should ask. Third time trying to get this point out of my mouth. The mean girl, brunette Swift, is the mean girlfriend to boy, and blonde Swift wants boy. The 2007 of all the fashion choices I can forgive, but there's nothing more cringe than going after someone who is actively in a relationship already. Like when we see brunette Swift kiss boy, she gives like a very like icy stare towards blonde Swift. And I would say, understandably so. Are you supposed to not get possessive over your partner when someone else is trying to scoop you out of the way? Also, holy crap. The moving the hair out of the face, getting that close on a bench to do it. I'm physically affectionate towards my friends of all genders, but I gotta call it where I see it. That's not the move to do in public either. Okay. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. The social hierarchy of it all. It's hold on. Boy play football, right? Boy play football. Boy get lifted during football game when they win big game, because football good, and that means that he is a very important player, right? Quarterback. That's usually the one, right? The one that gets stereotyped as being the object of affection for lady character in high school, right? Right. So he has a reputation already, right? And people know this guy because those bleachers were packed. So at least everyone in the school knows who he is. He is going to be with his friend in public on a bench. Awesome, chill, cool, whatever. Guys and girls should be allowed in the same spaces. Gender divide doesn't help anyone. It only perpetuates fear. Fear of the other, fear of trust, and it's a mess. But when you are getting this close to your friend's face to move hair out of her face,
that's a little more intimacy than I think you should be showing in public when people know that you got a girlfriend. And I'm saying this as someone who gives big bear hugs to everyone I love in private and in public. And I think I mean, he had it written down too, right? He had his feelings written down that he was ready to show to Blonde Swift. So at that point, why are you even with Brunette Swift? We don't actually see any of Brunette Swift's life. We only know that apparently she is dramatic in conversation, over the phone at least, and we see that she is putting up barriers between her boyfriend and her doppelganger who is actively trying to steal him from her, and that by the end of football game, it turns out Brunette Swift is now cheating on Boy with other guy who's not really in focus on camera. So at that point, was it a revenge thing? Is that what it was? Was it a revenge ploy? Because I think that Brunette Swift absolutely knew that Boy had a thing for Blonde Swift. Brunette Swift felt threatened, but not enough to actually take it as a serious threat. And we know that because by the music video, she goes up to Boy during prom and is like, hey, I'm brunette and I have this dress on. And he's still turning to Blonde Swift, and she goes, what? Because Blonde Swift doesn't have glasses anymore, which makes her a more interesting person. I guess at that point, with that in mind, does she actually know that Boy won Blonde Swift? Because she was pretty surprised. But she also saw that this is continuity that no one involved in this music video was breaking down. I'm doing way more thinking than they did about this, I think. At the very least, I think it was a better idea to do that double casting for Swift when the point of the song is this is the wrong type of girl, and I, the listener who gets to project onto the song, and the right type of girl. And that would be a little more difficult to do in any kind of cool way if you showed any different kind of face. Which is probably the intention of, like, we're not going to call out anyone who looks like a certain way, but you can look exactly the same, but it's what's inside that counts. And what's inside is blonde. And also a homewrecker. Could you imagine if this music video was made while she was an adult? If the context was changed to adult relationships? A lot messier. A lot more visibly messy. I'll say that. Teenage relationships are a wreck and a half on their own. Hold on. So I already don't like the lyrics of the song, right? But I think I've already established that I don't like the lyrics of the song. Have I? I don't think they're great. The sound of everything, sure, that's fine. It's pretty good, actually. The lyrics, the music video, and everything the song's about, I want to keep that away from me. Wait. Double checking the lyrics. I was right. She absolutely knew that Boy was into Blonde Swift. Brunette Swift was on to that. The song starts up. You're on the phone with your girlfriend. She's upset. She's going off about something that you said. Because she doesn't get your humor like I do. If the first time we see Brunette Swift is her staring daggers into Blonde Swift, he definitely said something about Blonde Swift, right? Right? She knows how close they are. There's no way that the time on the bench was the first time that those characters were that close to each other. And then if it's already in public, that means they're already that comfortable around each other. She was on to him.
She absolutely knew. Brunette Swift absolutely knew that boy was unfaithful, that he was looking at getting with one of his lady friends. When your lyrics are incredibly literal, that does make the directing of the music video a lot harder to have creative liberties. Because it is just describing events. You are on the phone. I am in my room. We are on a park bench. You drove to my house. And so we are stuck with nothing more than visuals of exactly what's being said. Oh, I was right. The narrative of the music video is all but confirmed. To quote Swift's own words off of Genius.com, I had overheard a friend of mine talking to his girlfriend, and he was completely on the defensive, saying things like, I love you more than anything. Baby, I'm so sorry. She was just yelling at him. I felt so bad for him at that moment. So I came up with the first line, you're on the phone with your girlfriend. She's upset. You're going off about something that you said. And I ran that into the storyline that I'm in love with him and he should be with me instead of her. That's freaking nuts, bro. You saw your friend be on the defensive and you thought, poor King, I'm going to write about if I was in head over heels for him and how he should actually be with me instead of her. Huh? What? Bananas behavior. Truly absolute bananas behavior. Oh, wow. Yeah, Boy and Blonde Swift are absolutely wrong. I'm not on Team Brunette Swift by any means because her response to her boyfriend absolutely pining after somebody else while he's in a relationship with her is okay. If you're not going to just end it or change your ways, then I'm going to do the exact same thing you're doing. Screw you, pal. And I get where that's coming from, but I can't stand any of these characters, and I need to stop thinking about it, or I'm gonna be here all day. Wow, my boobs have been out the whole time. This may be the last time you see such enthusiasm for me, but I can't help it when everybody's a bad person. Hey man, what better way to spend your 2 a.m. than doing something you don't even like doing? I mean, we're already alive. And that's one of those 2 a.m. thoughts we don't have on purpose. And we don't dwell on them. I was going to go to sleep, but I'm not now. Can you tell? I certainly can't. We're gonna watch Breathe. When the time came to record this parody, listening to that song sounded super lame to me. So I used this time to write down something different, only now realizing that breathing isn't in the title of this one. So in trying to escape my own artificial fate, I went and did it wrong. Why did I use the song? It's not breathing out. It's bleeding out by Imagine Dragons. There's really nothing to say about this one again. Gosh. Whatever. You get the purple lighting. You're not even watching this. I'm in your pocket. You're doing the dishes right now. Swift wrote a song about uh, not being able to see a friend who was a band member anymore after this. I like violins. And there were violins in this. That bit's nice. I don't know who the other lady is. Another country singer, I think. I could not distinguish her voice from Swift's if I tried. I didn't have anything to say. Oh, assumptions. Um, no, I don't think I want to make assumptions about this one because it's about like a friend having to like leave your life, and I don't want to. I don't want my assumptions to be like, I bet Taylor Swift's actually a bad person to her friends, because that's That's out of pocket. That's just rude at that point. And while I am a rude person and will continue to be so, especially about stuff I'm not into, uh, I'm not gonna like make defamatory statements about someone's character based on literally nothing. So instead, I'll just make fun of the thing that you like, viewer. Really hope the parody song for this one was good, because I got nothing else for this section. Which is why we're on to... Tell me why. Have I mentioned why I'm doing this on my bed? I don't have a desk. Like, my room just does not have space for a desk. So, bed content. Does this make me hashtag relatable? It's time for Tell Me Why.
I took off my pants, and you may think I'm wearing pants, but I'm not. You took my pants, I took your pants, and down here in your trouser pockets is your keys.
I hate this. Uh, those opening instrumentals really got me worried that that white girl was gonna start rapping. She did not, but I got scared. So this is about an abusive boyfriend. I looked up uh, who Tell Me Why is about because it's not on the timeline that I have, and I doubt that it's Joe Jonas, considering he broke up with her over the phone. So I found an article that was titled "The Real Meaning Behind Taylor Swift's Tell Me Why." Scroll down. Tell Me Why is about a boy who made Taylor mad. Really? Oh my gosh, do people know about this? The song where she's upset? It's about a guy who made her upset? Oh my gosh. The work these people do. They'll go to any lengths. They will go to any lengths to get to the truth of the matter. I hate this music. I hate this music so much. It's the tonal dissonance again. The music doesn't sound angry or hurt or sad. It's all in the words. And it's really hard to remember that this song is about an abusive relationship when the music sounds like you're dancing at the bar. I'm glad she's out of that. I don't see anyone talking about if it's an actually physically abusive relationship. Any type of abuse is bad, don't get me wrong. But the first verse says, "You took a swing, I took it hard, and down from the ground I see who you are." And everything talking about this song is just, this is when Swift realizes that her boyfriend wasn't a great guy. Did she get hit? Was that metaphor? Because that feels like a pretty serious thing to use as an analogy. If you were jamming, throwing your hair and shoulders around in your Grand Wagoneer L, sipping on passion fruit lemonade to this song, I don't think that this song is an effective uh, anything other than country pop. Pop country? Which one goes first? Why would you have a karaoke worthy jam about how you're not respected by your boyfriend? When does she have emotion in her songs? I know that they're in there eventually. So far, every song has the exact same emotional quality to it, with maybe 2, 3 exceptions. All right, what's next? Based off the one note I just heard, this one might be an improvement upon the last. So here we have "You're Not Sorry."
Not a lot of sandwich condiments. I think we have to go to the store. And now we're here, but all the sandwich stuff is not where it was before. Why'd you rearrange the grocery store?
Okay, this might be a first for me, because I like the chorus more than the verse. I guess I should explain what this is. So this is about an ex-boyfriend. This definitely did fulfill the promise of its premise of being a lot more mournful of a song. There's a lot more pain in there. The piano and the fiddle, those sounded really nice. I like when music sounds like waves crashing against a cliffside, where it's just a whole lot of momentum and pushing against something over and over again, slowly, but it's forceful and it has that kind of strength to it. That I really, really enjoy. The rhythm of the lyrics did not feel like it matched until we got to the chorus. That was interesting to hear. This one's all right. I'm not surprised to see it made an appearance in an episode of CSI. I am surprised that they used a remix of it, and in an episode where Swift had a guest appearance on the show. So you brought the singer on, but you're doing an electronic remix. What does that sound like? Let me listen to that real fast. Oh, with the video. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's what she looks like.
Let's tell sad stories of the death of kings. Some poisoned by their wives, some sleeping killed, all murdered. For within the hollow crown that rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court, and there the antic sits, scoffing his state and grinning at his pomp, allowing him a breath, a little scene to monarchize, be feared and killed with looks, infusing him with self and vain conceit, as if this flesh which walls about our life were brass impregnable. And Hubert thus comes at the last, and with a little pin bores through his castle wall. And farewell, king.
No, I can't listen to that anymore. That sounds really bad. I hate that even more. That's so much worse. That's so much worse. And a brief return of Brunette Swift. That's crazy. I wonder if the episode's like after her and boys falling out. I'm going to pretend that's in the same setting. Holy crap, that remix is infinitely worse. And unfortunately. Oh no! Uh-oh. I think that one's stuck in my brain. I'm actively trying to remember how the original sounded, and I'm getting some of it, but as soon as Swift's voice comes in, it's gone. This is interesting. Why is this happening to my brain? Ooh, which illness is this? Who's responsible for this? Genuine attempts are happening right now, and there's literally no way for me to prove that, so I'm aware it just looks like I'm furrowing my brow and pretending something's happening, but I swear I'm trying to separate thoughts. This is interesting. I haven't done this before. I wonder if I can do this with other songs. Why do I say it looks like I'm furrowing my brow? You're not watching this. You're washing the dishes. Except for you. You're on the toilet. And you're the only one watching this on the toilet. You little weirdo. Anyway, now I'm only going to be thinking about the CSI remix. Heavens. I hope she got compensated more for that, because that sucks. We'll do one more of these for this session recording. But first, I'm going to listen to Over and Over by Romeo to just reset my brain. Man, I love their music so much. They're so cool. I love me an out of tune piano. That's some great ass stuff. Now we're on to The Way I Loved You. We are almost done with this album. Oh my gosh, the video's almost over. I didn't think of that. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. There's nothing extra, right? There's no new songs? No, okay. We don't have a deluxe version with 4 extra songs popping in out of nowhere. It's this, 3 more, and then we're done. So let's get this one out of the way.
But I miss slipping and sliding on a banana peel, and I'm covered in paint, and I can't tell what's real. So in character, it's all I feel, and that's what makes me a clown.
Huh. Okay. So this one's about a boyfriend and an ex-boyfriend. I don't like this. We're once again at the point where I think an older voice singing this would be better. And maybe the re-release would make that better. Unfortunately, the lyrics are so important to me. It's, woof. A love song to a toxic ex, where the verses are about how you are in a healthier place in your life. This might be something to speculate on again. Time to get nosy. So we all agreed this is unhealthy, right? No one's arguing against that, yes? Because I've had bad exes that I have missed after we broke up, but none of them were ever missed while I was realizing that it was a bad place to be in. I don't know, it just feels like there's some deeper issues there. I immediately think of how the brain handles addiction. When the brain has exciting experiences, it latches onto the feeling of adrenaline and uses that as a sense of this chemical is going to uh, run through the body, keep everything working, keep you on the run. It's why we have fear responses. It's why we go on roller coasters and such. But at some point, that adrenaline rush becomes uh, something that the body is dependent on. Because once you have a constant source of, I have energy from this, the moment that that's gone, the body is going to just fall into a slump because now the natural order, quote unquote, has been tampered with. Now you have your food supply cut off. And I just think that's a red flag to write a song about it. I really do think that several of these songs should not have been publicized. I think if we had a few less, that would have been fine. And maybe that's not living to the authentic experience through her music, but it definitely shows your cards a lot less. How many other relationships do you think she felt about like this? How many good relationships did she have where she was missing the bad ones? I can only look at this song with pity. There is something concerning about all of this. And considering that her career is built on love and loss, I would not be surprised if that draw, that inclination toward the self destructive is still there. What's his name? Travis Scott. Are they still together? I'm sure they are. Travis Kelsey, not Travis Scott. Who's Travis Scott? Oh, my man. You got rid of 3 cool names in place of Travis Scott? His real name is Jacques Bermond Webster II. Hey man, it's not my business. Maybe who you were named after you're not into. Maybe you just don't like that name. But Travis, you went from Jacques Bermond Webster to Travis? Like, don't get me wrong, Travis is a fine name. I'm friends with a couple. But Travis Scott. I didn't know that wasn't his real name. This part of the video is about him, actually. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's sweet. So we got his name from Kid Cudi's legal name and his favorite uncle's name. That's really sweet. I love that. Okay, yeah. All right, that makes sense to rebrand yourself as people that you love. Oh, Dude, that's awesome. What was this about? Oh yeah, addiction. I'm not a licensed therapist. I don't have a psychology degree. I'm not going to pretend that I have any authority on the matter. But I'm gonna eat my chicken now. See you in 8 days. I was very close. 9 days, which means it's Disability Pride Month. And guess what? I'm that. Let's see if we can knock these out real quick. Also, I'm on the ground right now for reasons that don't matter. Wow, my hair is all over the place. Nice. They'll never suspect that you lost your comb 2 years ago, Gimmick. Your secret is safe with you. It's time for Forever and Always.
There's a gorilla in my bathroom. He's conditioned a Kong. He won't replace the toilet paper and he showers too long. He put shampoo on a baboon. I hate the zoo exchange. It's the event where the zoo takes your roommates in exchange for majestic wildlife.
Nope, don't play another one. Don't play another. Whew. So this one's about Joe Jonas after, as Today.com puts it, breaking up with her over the phone in 25 seconds. It's another ex-boyfriend song. She's gonna run out at some point, right? Look ahead to 2045. Is she still going to have songs about relationships that ended? Ooh, do you think we'll get into divorce songs? Girl. No, what? It was the last song she wrote for the album, and she pleaded with the head of the record studio, quote, to let her include the track on the album a day before the track list was finalized because it was about something really, really dramatic and crazy that needed to be addressed via music. I don't know if really, really dramatic covers a 25-second phone call. Like, yeah, it's upsetting to get broken up with like it's nothing, to have that kind of breakaway. But it was 3 months. Now, granted, I've fallen hard for people within 3 months, but they broke up when she was 18 and he was also 18. We need a deep dive on the lyrics. Okay, nothing really to analyze. It's just why don't why was I looking for a deeper meaning? We have the metaphor and it's rain. Why am I looking for more than that? I really wish this charging plug could work while I was in my bed again because being on the floor sucks for my legs. Again, happy Disability Pride Month. It's awesome here. Jonas addressed the song in a 2009 issue of 17 magazine. Quote, it's flattering. It's always nice to hear their side of the story. She recalled the song as the most rebellious thing she did as a teenager. Boy, do I believe that. There was something. What was it? There was something that sounded bad. Don't like that. I'll hand it to her. She tried something in this, right? There's something there. There was some imagination being used with the scoring of the song. Is that the right term? Movie credit song. What else? What else do you want from me? 18 is definitely the age to put all your chips on a table and be like, this is it. This is the one. This is the relationship. Because if I don't have it now, I'm going to die and I'll never have anything again. I don't know this from personal experience. Not me, old Dr. Well Adjusted over here. Which does make an unceremonious ending feel extra painful. Because when there's so much promise and then such a quick letdown, yeah, that makes sense that there'd be that kind of pain. I don't care about the song though. I don't want to listen to it again. I have to make the parody. Oh, well, hey, this song's music video has home footage. Is this one gonna be about her family? We almost had that in the last album's deluxe version. Remember that one? I don't. Watching these incognito, it was the right call, but Man, oh man, the recommendations on this tab are disgusting. We're living through another apocalypse. And we can't be blasé about it because every time there's a bad thing happening, it's up to the people living through it to get through it. It just feels ridiculous that this is what's happening in the world, and I'm doing this. Like, uh, and by this, I mean I'm watching the music video for The Best Day right now. Hey, it's Gimmick from the editing bay again. Look, I spent like 40 minutes staring at a blank sheet of paper. I couldn't think of anything funny for this one. This song has zero comedy potential. It's just a nice song about her family. There we go. That's very sweet. That's very nice. Lyrically, it's pretty simple, but because it's not trying to be anything more than that, and it doesn't need to be. It's just a nice, sweet song to her mom about how much she loves her family. That's nice. Way to go, Taylor. You did that. Way to go. It is really weird to have in the video cards right at the end be advertising songs from the 1989 album and her song called Slut. I assume that's how it's pronounced. There's an exclamation point. Just a little jarring accident there. This is the thing I was asking for. It's a different subject from everything else we've heard so far. Uh, it stands well on its own. It has some fairly universal connection for the audience to latch onto. Not everyone's mother is great, but I have a great mother, so I was able to relate. It's a very pleasant song. I can feel it. You know what? This song sounds like it would be perfect for weddings that happen in barns, or at least a reception is in a big emptied out barn. And it's well, no, usually the son dances with the mom. Lesbians, help me out. What do you do for your weddings? Anyway, it feels like the kind of song that a lot of daughters who love their moms would play or dance to together as a sweet little gift. That's nice. It does feel wild that it took this long to get a break from the usual subject matter. What was the muse for this? For just at the very end being like, I'm gonna write. I want to write about my family and how much they've helped me growing up, and then to later go to the record label of like, Joe dumped me. One more song. One more. Come on. Remember when I called this series pretty chill and laid back? That certainly disappeared, didn't it? One more song. One more, and then we can go home. I am home. Then you can go. You're home too. But I don't know. Wait, what do you mean it was to promote AT&T for the 2008 Summer Olympics? Whoa, they got one Spanish song on there. Why is it AT&T doing this? No one seems to know. No one seems to have written it down. Okay, well, time to listen to the Olympics. What a weird way to close an album. Oh, thank goodness, there's flashing lights and direct eye contact in this music video. Just what the doctor ordered. Why am I getting recommended Darman? The visions of the end times will not cease. Prophetic ecstasy is torturing me. I fear I've gone deranged. Can you see the clouds collapse into stone and the avalanche will crush us down? What was that about? What? What? Hold on. What was the song about? This is for the Olympics, right? Is the song about America? Because there are some shots where she's in front of red and white and blue lights, but she's talking like America as a nation has ever been oppressed. Yeah, whatever. There were taxes or something 300 years ago. Who gives a crap? This is for the Olympics. And it's talking about victory and stuff. But it sounds like. You know what it is? I was going to say that it sounds like a song for the downtrodden, actual oppressed groups. But really, what it sounds like is if you took out the instrumental track and put in simple piano, this is a church song. This is a church, and yeah, she's Christian and she's singing songs for the red states. That just feels really strange to me. I don't know. This sounds like one of those vague modern worship songs. It definitely sounds modern now because all uh, contemporary church music sounds like it was written 10 to 15 years before its release. It feels like one of those where it's just a lot of kind of vague ideas of like standing up and not being knocked down and surpassing the odds. And then we'll sing Hallelujah, actual lyric. Interesting. What is this about? I fully thought for a moment that the music video had Lindsay Sterling on violin, and I was like, why is that nowhere listed? It isn't, because the violin doesn't even sound like her, and I can hardly hear it at all. Um, but it was just, I don't know, vaguely similar facial structure. But also, a whole lot of white people look the same to me, so whatever. Wait, yeah, it starts with the first shot of the music video is a stained glass window. This is a church song. This is church. She wrote a church song. She did a secret church song. So she said that it had a bigger meaning eventually, like it grew into having a bigger theme. And she called it an underdog story. But about what? America? That's not an underdog. Tell me, cishet white woman, what are we doing? What's the threat? What are we fighting against? Beijing? Well, we got second place in that one, so, maybe that did it. I guess we didn't beat Beijing, though, because China had the most gold medals. Ooh, controversies. About the Olympics? That's a first. Various claims of human rights violations. I mean, that sounds right. Ooh, a lot of doping scandals. That's fun. I don't even care about the Olympics. Why is this the rabbit hole I'm going down? Oh, China was using it as a little publicity for the government, which is strange. You're already the government. Why do you? That's the thing I've never understood with propaganda. If you're already the government and you're already in charge, why do you need people to think more about the government? You're already there. Anyway, speaking of propaganda, I don't know why some people still think that America is under threat. 2008, who was president at the time? This was Bush era. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. The perfect time for, as I've said before, and as has been stated by many before, Swift's early career depended on making music for red states because that's who like country rock the most for some reason. And as has been shown time and time again, right wingers love to believe that they are the victims of life, despite being in charge so much of the time. So for right wing churches, yeah, this song would be perfect for them. Because that's exactly what it is. It's almost Independence Day by the time I'm recording this. I had to be reminded that that was a real holiday. There are more important things to care about. Good thing I spent weeks doing this. Well, if it isn't the end card. It is, by the way. This is the end of the video. And a bit of a longer one at that. Half an hour difference from the last one, huh? Ooh, I pity anyone going through this in the future once all the other ones are done. You got a lot to do. I hope that this is good background noise for whatever task you're putting yourself through at the moment. Anyway, have we gotten any closer to understanding why Swifties like this music? No. I don't think so. Then again, I haven't done a whole lot of contemplation on it. It's really not the forefront of my thought at all times. Uh, and to prove it, last segment filmed 4th of July. Today's the 31st. What have we learned though? We've had some interesting little assumptions, baseless assumptions, only based on the lyrics that Swift writes. And that there seems to be a running theme of competition and bitterness. But that is also just how it feels to be 18 to 19, so I can't really blame her for that. Also learned it's pretty easy to write songs. It really only takes a few minutes, because I can bust out 15, 20 seconds of parody in about a minute and a half, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, around that time. If a song is about maybe 3 minutes, that's about 6 to 8 minutes worth of time that I would actually need to write the full song. So we can knock effort out of the way. Maybe it is a big effort. It's just, I don't know, there's pretty simple lyrics. But no, this whole started, the career started with well, incredible luck and money, but also getting bored in math class and spending a few minutes, 15 minutes, writing a song. I don't think it takes her that long to write these songs, because there's not that much to them. Really, all it seems to take so far is penning down exactly what happened the day before and making it rhyme a little. But even then, not all the time. It just feels weird that it's like always autobiographical. We got one song last album that wasn't about her or her life. In this album, I think we got one song that wasn't about her love life. I'm just waiting for all this genius I keep hearing about. And I'm making fun of it along the way with my funny little songs. What were my parody songs about? One was a flirtatious werewolf who killed his hunter. I know that. And that's the only one I can remember. That's the only one that matters. What the crap happened to my lighting? It doesn't matter. Well, you know, it's easy to ask, Gimmick, if it doesn't even matter, why do you keep doing it? Basically,
Driving clown cars full of short guys. It's a splatter fest of funny pies. Blast out a cannon as a surprise, and that's what makes me a clown.